First, we got to start off with Zion Williams and the Pelicans. And you wrote a dope article on this. Is the chapter slowly closing right now?
What's called? And I wrote about it because, bro, it's like in the 6 years he's played, he's had two relatively like healthier seasons, right? Last year and the year before. No, last year and the year he made his first or second All Star season. But still, despite that, he's fallen in injuries, right? And throughout these 6 years. So it's put the Pelicans in a position now where you have to look at your team and wonder, is what we're building with Zion sustainable, right? Because I think conditioning has been a problem with him, his weight. But also another problem with that weight and with his conditioning is you kind of need him to be big. Because I watched him play against the Pacers and I watched him in Cleveland. Bro, he gets his baskets because of how big he is, how strong he is, and he's able to get to his
Yeah,
spots.
double-edged sword.
So yeah. So it's kind of like he's in a tough situation where I don't know, like maybe Zion's career might be like a Larry Johnson career, you know? Like
Ooh,
who is tough because Larry Johnson was a great player, right? But injuries kind of derailed him from being like a Hall of Fame player.
correct. Yeah, it's hard because Zion, like you said, he's got to be big, to body people because he doesn't necessarily have the skill set like the jump shot, the post game.
Yeah,
It's kind of tough to build around him too, to find the right shooters, the right spacing. You're gonna need a big anyway, regardless, to rebound and to protect the paint. It's a very unique way you have to build this team around him. But it's weird how they reported his injury because he came off that Pacers game where he went off for like 34 points, but they sort of pretended like, hey, the very next game, oh, Zion is not with us. He's not playing. He has a hamstring issue. And then all of a sudden,
yes.
they made it seem like it was a day-to-day thing. And then all of a sudden, by the next game, he was like fully out. He wasn't even with the team. Very strange, but
Well,
hold
let
on.
me add this.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then in Cleveland, he played right. First half, he had a solid. I don't remember how many points he had the first half. He goes down, right? He comes back, finishes it with 29 points. Pretty impressive with the lose. But then after that, we haven't seen him play.
No. And
So
remember,
like,
last year I talked about he played the 72 games. Remember I said that he
yeah,
played the 72 games, but he was nowhere near an all NBA team and nowhere near being an all-star.
yeah,
And that was the beginning phases when I was like, is Zion really this is kind of very like he's not living up to the number one pick status. Is he keeping up with his peers, the Ja Morants, the Anthony Edwards? Look how Edwards came up in the last 2 seasons. Now he's on
yeah,
a whole different level. Zion is supposed to be in the ballpark with those guys. The Luka, the Lukas,
yeah.
he's supposed to be in that realm. But right now he's kind of falling back. And last year was our first proof, his fifth season, where he played 72 games and we got a nice sample size, but it wasn't enough for him to be an all-star or make an all NBA team. These are very unique. These
He
are
had a
very
very
unique
inconsistent season.
circumstances. Yeah, very unique circumstances. And his coach actually, this is the first time when they spoke on the injury when Zion was out before we got to where we at right now. But it's just weird. Once again, it's just weird, very weird the way the Pelicans reported it because they've always reported his injury status very iffy the whole time he's been out there. But check it out. This is Coach Willie Green.
Was Zion at the game tonight?
No, he was not at the game. It was doctor's orders, because of, the hamstring quad. So we kept him at home tonight.
Now, that right there was right after the Pacers game, him dropping 34 points. The very next game, they reported a hamstring injury, and he just wasn't even with the team.
Yeah,
So that's a very weird way of reporting a hamstring issue. You know what I mean?
yes.
And then later on, we find out that he's gonna be out for some time, but they announced that he's gonna only be out for like a while, and then all of a sudden the report came out. He's gonna be out indefinitely. That's the
4
way.
to 6 weeks.
Yeah, and that's
Today
the
came out 4 to 6 weeks.
yeah 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But they
Yes.
but they initially reported it in like a day-to-day thing, and then all of a sudden it was like Zion is out indefinitely, and then now it's 4 to 6 weeks. But you don't see the reporting around Zion kind of funny. It's almost like the Pelicans don't want to put a responsibility of putting a timetable when he could just come back, so people could say, "Oh, he was supposed to come back 4 weeks ago. He didn't come back." It's like they don't want
Yeah.
to put a date on it.
I think today they announced he put a date on it. Even then, it kind of came off fishy. Why aren't they being as direct? Is it Zion's conditioning? Is it what? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird how they went about it. Because I'm not gonna lie, Zion's conditioning in like these past 10 days were awful. Like, and that's every season story where it takes him slowly to catch on. When the one game where it seemed like he catched on was against the Pacers, and even against Cleveland. Both games he had what 34 and 29
Hmm.
against Cleveland. Bro, it's like bro, every time it seems like he does get to shape, he falls back.
Yeah,
Is that what the fuck?
and I'm wondering if his body is actually built for NBA schedule. He could be like a phenom, but it doesn't mean his body's necessarily built to deal with 82 games plus playoffs from season to season.
Yeah.
And right now, even though you said, he's kind of cooking, he's kind of getting to his bag early this season, Zion looks much better in shape. He looks like he he kind of let go of all the chicken wings and OnlyFans girls. He kind of doing his thing now, but
A lot more
slowly,
discipline.
yeah, but slowly right now, if you look at where he's taking his shots from, it's less and less at the rim. He first started off in his second season taking 81% of his shots at the rim. Now it dropped down to 69, and then now it's dropped down to less than 54% of his shots are coming at the rim. That's kind of crazy. Like, his athleticism is slowly going down from season
You
to
don't really
season.
see him jump like that anymore,
Yeah.
bro. You don't really see Zion jump like that.
Yep, and he's only played 208 games in 6 seasons. That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Bro, his lower body just kind of betrays him. I think there's a lot of these hamstring injuries. So it's bound to just slow him down. The best I can compare him to is like 2019 Detroit Pistons Blake Griffin, right? But I think obviously Blake Griffin had a lot more skill that Zion does not have right now.
Oh yeah, he definitely has a lot more skill. He had post skill, he had touch. He actually developed a jumper at the end.
Yeah.
But Zion doesn't really have that. His skill is more like, I'm just gonna beat you to the cup with his strength and his size and his speed. But
Yeah.
again, that's been dwindling down slowly. It's kind of crazy. Again, it went from 81% in his sophomore season to the following season 69% shots from the rim, and this season is only 54%. That's damn. Every season is getting less and less and less, and now the Pelicans are still hiding his injuries. Man, they're still kind of like, hey, Zion, he's not with the team. And how does the media member ask him after the game, yo, is he with the team? Was he in the back somewhere? Like, what's going on? There's a lot of secrecy.
I'll give Zion this. Like, in the start of the season, he did come off a lot sicker, so I'll give him that. But at the same time, the past 2 games, he had a lot of better games. But like you said, as of right now, with a small sample size, it isn't looking too hot.
I really can't say, because he's been playing good. That Pacers game, he did look good, but it's like, once again, I don't know if his body, because he has to be big. He's not actually tall enough to be a rim protecting guy. You know what I'm saying? So he has to kind of remain big. That's part of his strength. That's part of his like skill set. It's kind of
that's how he
big.
gets his shots up.
Yeah, but once he loses being big, will he be as effective?
I don't see it, bro. Like, you're asking, like, at that point, he has to be like Chet Holmgren, like type of finesse and type of play, and that's unrealistic for a guy built like Zion.
Yeah, if Zion, man, I can't imagine skinny Zion, man. I'll be asking Zion, you sick, man? Are they keeping all the hoes away from you?
It'd be a concern.
Yeah, we gotta feed him some more hoes. We gotta feed him some more chicken wings.
More porn stars.
Yeah. Man. It's like, I can't imagine skinny Zion. And the Pelicans already going through it. They got Herb Jones about to miss 2 to 4 weeks. CJ McCollum. Yeah. Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
It's
I think they're all CJ. Did you already mention CJ McCollum?
Yeah, CJ. He got that hip issue.
Yeah. They lost. I think even Jordan Hawkins is day to day.
Wow. Yeah, and remember, we spoke about this last time. Remember, how can the NBA even schedule putting Zion out there, like on national TV? He's been so shaky. Like, this whole 6 years has been really shaky. And 208 games in 6 years for first overall pick. Ooh.
Yeah.
Man, like all that TikTok hype when that app first started, with Zion being the first guy to first NBA star to kind of be launched with that, it just, all that free promo just went down the drain, man. He doesn't even get talked about around the league like that. It's almost like an afterthought at this point.
Right. He's never available to be talked about.
Yeah, it's like, damn, all that free marketing and promotion is just, Man, it's
Like I
slowly.
saw the NBA promote his 134 game, but it's like after that he missed like 3 games.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unfortunate. You know what? Matter of fact, let's take a look at how exactly the media is reporting on this. Cause I'm telling you, the Pelicans, they've been real funny with the information regarding Zion. But let's check it out.
And let's start with Zion Williamson here. What is his status?
Zion Williamson will be out for several weeks, I'm told. This is an injury that Pelicans are bracing for him to be out about 4 to 6 weeks. And his return will be based on rehab and how that treatment goes on that hamstring strain. We know the Pelicans with Zion Williamson, they said indefinitely. We know that they are not sure yet exactly how long this rehab is going to take for him. And this is devastating for a Pelicans team that's been ravaged by injuries all season. And Zion Williamson himself, he was the lightest he's ever been in his career. He's been playing well this season, and this is a devastating injury so early in the year for him. He's played in under 50% of NBA games since being drafted #1 overall.
Now, right there again, the reporting is iffy as hell on Zion. You see all the stipulations. You see all the stipulations in Sham's report. It's a lot of like, oh, if he does this and this goes well, and this is for a fucking hamstring injury. We understand it could be a lingering issue, but this is a lot of stipulations, man. Like, it's always, the injury reporting around Zion is always iffy. It's always iffy. Out indefinitely. Who says that for a hamstring injury?
Oh yeah, I think that, bro, I can't lie. I think this is like, from what I've read on Pelicans Twitter, is their medical staff. A lot of people are saying is a lot. Like the medical staff itself has a lot of problems in New Orleans, like in both sports. So I think that also plays a factor in why they're not being as direct or as upfront about whatever Zion's dealing with.
Yeah, remember when he first came into the league, his parents, I believe his father or his agent, they had an issue. They made an issue of the whole Pelicans medical staff. There was like a clash in the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah.
This whole Zion, some of these franchises, I'm telling you, they weren't ready to have these type of players. I think the league kind of took notes on, sometimes don't let a mega star or a person who potentially could give the league a lot of visibility, don't put them on certain franchises because they really can't handle them. Like, can you imagine if Wemby went to the Pelicans? They would waste away his shit. They would waste him away.
Yeah, I mean, dude, look how sloppy they're handling his injury. Bro, if he was this injured, right, why would you let him, like, okay, he had a good game against Cleveland, 9 of 18 shooting. Why would you put him out there against the Cleveland Cavaliers if you knew they already had a lingering problem? Like, why risk it, That is your investment. He makes your franchise money, your organization money. Why risk it?
And that's another good point. You saying that he makes some money. I'm wondering what the indefinitely or the timeline stipulations, is that them just kind of giving the fan base hope to still come and buy tickets for future games?
I mean, dude, are you going to watch Brendan Boston play? Would you spend money to watch Brendan Boston play or this messy rookie guy? Like, of course you got to have to sell something.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But this whole Zion thing is just, I don't know. It's, once again, he has to keep up with his peers. The Jean Morants, the Lucas. He's falling behind. The Anthony Edwards, he's completely fallen behind his peers.
Bro, he might be in the Jaren Jackson colony, bro.
Oof. Yeah.
That's not a bad colony, but it's not the most ideal either.
Yeah, but you see, once again, with the NBA, it's how you come into the league. He came into the league with all that hype, the #1 overall pick, and it's going to be hard for people to have that perception of him. You know what I'm saying? That perception of him being sort of, I don't want to say a bust, but like a lesser tier player. They still kind of put him next to the Jaz and the Lucas. They kind of still, subconsciously put him there, even though they know his numbers ain't there because of the marketing, how he came in. Yeah.
With him, like, even now, like, let's be honest, that 40-point game, we automatically put him back in that conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, you'll always have those random performances. Like, in December is always his peak, or like it's always his peak performance and all that stuff. So he's always there in that conversation because of, like, you'll just have like games where he just dominates. But it's like, bro, we're just getting flashes of what Zion could be when healthy, but we're not getting it.
Nope.